Hi, and welcome to Ivy English. I'm Karen.
And I'm Wesley.
Today is May 4th. May 4th. It sounds like an important day.
五四运动.
Yeah, that's why. Okay. And this is just a pop quiz for everybody. What year was the 五四运动? Okay? Don't have to say it. Just make sure that you know that. It's an important cultural event. And we're on page 10 in our magazines. And today we have our very, very favorite lesson of the month, and that is translation. And here we go with part A, number 1.
好，我们看 A 题组的第一题。他说台湾向来在夏秋两季有台风来袭，因此去年没有任何台风登陆，令人意外。那这个地方我们看到这台湾，那我们就直接Taiwan写出来。然后呢，向来在夏秋两季，这是时间副词，所以我们放到后面去。In the summer and autumn， 这个放到后面。但是我们要先想办法处理这个有台风来袭这样的一个动作说这样的一个说法。那我们想想看，什么叫有台风来袭？有台风来袭就是表示常常有台风的意思。好，所以呢，在英文里面呢，其实这个我们也有想一下，也去查一下。好，那后来想其实我们可以说台湾is prone to typhoons， 就表示 to be prone to 就是常常会有一个不好的事情发生。
That's right. And we thought of some other possibilities in the process of doing this translation. One of them you will see in my translation. And one of them is subject to, which would also work here. It sounds a little more bureaucratic to me when we say subject to. So, for example, somebody is subject to prosecution if they don't file their taxes on time. For example, subject to, it sounds kind of bureaucratic. So it's correct here, but I think prone to is better in this situation.
Yeah.
That's one. And another one we thought of was susceptible to. Now, susceptible is possible, but it's less good here because we often think of a person or a living thing as susceptible, or it could be a thing as susceptible to damage. It's possible. But to me, it often tends to be animate.
OK， 好，那这个地方呢，其实我本来是用 susceptible 那但是 Karen 老师说这个 susceptible 这个字通常是有生命的东西才会比较容易跟 susceptible 放在一起用。这个不是说绝对而是说一般来讲是这样用所以呢，这个地方我们把它改成 prone to。那刚刚这个 Karen 老师讲，这里你也可以用 subject to 那也可以，但是呢，感觉起来好像比较官僚一点的感觉好像就是这个将处以什么什么那种感觉所以这里呢，我们后来觉得用 prone to 是最好的。好，所以呢，我们这个就可以写的，前面这半句解决了。Taiwan is generally prone to typhoons in the summer and autumn。好，然后呢，接下来因此我们打个逗点 ，so 那令人意外，我们可以说 it was surprising。那但是这个地方我加了一个 rather it was rather surprising 稍微修饰一下让人颇感意外那种感觉。
That means it wasn't hugely surprising these things happened, but yeah, it's kind of unusual.
好，所以不是说非常非常的 surprising 而是怎么样还挺让人觉得意外好，所以呢 it was rather surprising that 然后没有台风 there were no typhoon。 这地方本来是讲 there were no typhoons 我本来是用 typhoons， 但事实上这地方呢，这 Karen 老师觉得他建议加一个 landing 这个字比较重要，因为事实上我觉得没错，因为不是说没有台风，而是没有台风登陆那而且我们题目里面有一个登陆，所以 landing 很重要，所以我写成 and there were no typhoon landings last year.
And remember to make it plural. Okay, Let's hear the whole thing.
OK， 那我这翻译整个再念一次Taiwan is generally prone to typhoons in the summer and autumn, so it was rather surprising that there were no typhoon landings last year.
Very good. Here's my translation. Taiwan usually experiences typhoons in the summer and fall, so it's a bit surprising that there were no typhoon landings last year. The second part is about the same as Wesley's, but in the first part, I made it I kind of personified Taiwan. So Taiwan usually experiences, 它会经历 typhoons. That's one way you can handle this.
Yeah, 所以通常会经历，换句话说，通常会有台风的意思。所以这用 experience 把这个台风好像把台湾好像当成一个比较拟人化的感觉。
Okay, and here's the translation in our magazine. Typhoons tend to strike Taiwan during the summer and fall. So it came as a surprise that there were no typhoon landings last year. Instead of strike, we could also say hit. Typhoons tend to hit Taiwan during the summer and fall.
Yeah, it came as a surprise, 感觉起来比较正式一点。
That's right. Okay, let's move on to number 2.
OK， 那我们看第二句。第二句说，这种罕见的事情造成水库严重缺水，许多地方不得不实施用水限制。那这种罕见的事情，那我看到这个时候，我看到这个罕见的事情，我想到一个字 anomaly， A-N-O-M-A-L-Y， anomaly。anomaly 就是不寻常的，跟本来的 pattern 不一样的，特别突出来的一个怪怪的地方。例如我们可以讲这个 anomaly in the data， 在这个数据里面也这个地方怪怪的，所以这里我用 anomaly 这个字。 This anomaly has caused， 它造成了一个严重的缺水。那我们可以写 a severe water shortage， 那是一个严重的缺水，那是水库严重缺水，所以水库我们放在缺水的后面。好，那这个地方呢，如果你翻译的时候，如果把水库先讲的话呢，会比较难讲因为说这个水库缺水这个reservoirs 水库这个lack water 这很奇怪，不太好讲但也是可以那这里呢，我的写法是就是 a severe water shortage in reservoirs。 好，所以前面讲完了，后面呢，这个许多地方不得不实施用水限制。好，我们前面那一句前半句我是这样写的，我再讲一次This anomaly has caused a severe water shortage in reservoirs。 然后呢，逗点，接下来说许多地方不得不实施用水限制。这里也是一样，我一开始我是用 many areas， 后来觉得好像后面当时我好像觉得不太好写后来我就转过来，不得不实施许多这个用水限制，我可以说用水限制被实施所以我可以说 and water rationing 就是用水的限制， ration 是配给就是一种限制。
Yeah, pay attention to that word because that's the very precise word we use in this situation, water rationing.
这是在这种情况之下限水最精准的用法就是 water rationing。 我本来想到是我们可以说 restrictions on water usage， 但是 restrictions 它那个限制好像是感觉起来它不是配的那种感觉，限制就是我给你一个 limit， 你不要超过它。
It sounds like a description for somebody who doesn't know the word rationing.
OK， 这很重要。你如果说 restrictions on water usage， 感觉起来是一个不知道有 water rationing 这样的说法的人才会讲到 restrictions on water usage，
就解释给他听
那种感觉所以这个很重要的 collocation， 大家把它背起来 water rationing。 所以 water rationing had to be introduced， 因为我们实施限水，这个实施可以用 introduced 这个动词在这里不是介绍，这里是
也不是引入，
就是实施的意思。好，然后呢这后面再加 in many regions， 好，这样就解决了。
Right. Watch out for regions because regions are usually larger. Areas can be smaller and regions tend to be larger.
那这个地方 region 感觉起来是比较大一点那 areas 就是比较感觉是小一点。
In many cases.
通常啦，但当然不见得是绝对是这样子。
Can we hear it again?
Sure. 好，我的翻译我再念一次。This anomaly has caused a severe water shortage in reservoirs, and water rationing had to be introduced in many regions.
Okay, here's my translation. This unusual situation has resulted in a serious water shortage in Taiwan's reservoirs, forcing many areas to impose water rationing measures. So there's a lot of bureaucratic language in here. Listen to Wesley's explanations.
好，那这个地方 this unusual situation 就是这个不寻常的状态。
Right, and this is a good expression to remember and use because it's also a 委婉语. It's kind of delicate, kind of a diplomatic way to say that something's wrong. This unusual situation. It's a kind of 委婉语, actually. It's a euphemism.
所以这个是蛮委婉的，这是一种很 diplomatic 很外交的一种语言这其实是有问题的，但是呢他不讲说we have a problem now.
Right, and here it's something that nature did, and we can't really accuse nature of being nature. So often when there are human-created situations, so this unusual situation, maybe something really went wrong, somebody stole something, somebody lied, or whatever, this unusual situation is a good euphemism. Here it's not so much a euphemism, but it can be used as a euphemism in many situations.
所以这个 this unusual situation 你可以把它用来当委婉语那例如说某件事情发生了例如说这个一些问题产生了，那你不想用 problem 这个字或者 trouble 这个字，你就可以用这样的说法。
东西被偷的声音等等。
但在这里它不见得是委婉语，这里它就真的叙述一个不寻常的状况，但这个片语大家可以学起来。好，那 resulted in 就是造成什么结果，然后呢造成缺水。那 Karen 老师同样是先讲缺水，再讲 in Taiwan's reservoirs。好，然后接下来呢迫使用了这个动词forcing 使得 forcing many areas 使得很多地区必须要 impose 它的受词就是那个water rationing measures 啊，所以 impose 也有那种强加于的意思。施加于 yeah.
That's right. And notice that I use serious instead of severe. Severe is stronger.
好，所以这个 severe 比 serious 还要更强。好，当你尤其用来形容的 water shortage 的时候。
Okay, and here's the translation in our magazine.This rare occurrence led to a serious lack of water in reservoirs, and many regions had no choice but to place restrictions on the use of water. The first part of this translation is good. The second part is acceptable, but we just explained why saying place restrictions on the use of water is kind of a circumlocution. Circumlocution, that means that you're describing something in a lot of words instead of just using a precise term.And it's spelled C-I-R-C-U-M-L-O-C-U-T-I-O-N. It sounds long, but you can break it up into pieces. Circum is circling around. Locution is speaking. 你就是讲话有点绕圈圈的感觉. It's a circumlocution.
Yeah, 好，所以 circum 就是 around 绕来绕去，那 locution 就是 speaking， 所以你说话呢不直接说重点或者不直接讲出来，你再绕来绕去的就是这一个字。
Yeah, it's wordy, it's long. It's better, I think, in this case to say water rationing.
好，这里呢其实用 water rationing 更好更简洁。
Okay, and our magazine also offers some other possibilities. So they have, and many regions had no choice, had no option, or had no alternative but to place restrictions on, and so forth and so on. These are all very, very good idioms. You should learn all of them.
好，那 alternative 就是一个替代方案的意思哈，通常就是有做法 A， 然后呢另外一个替代方案就是 B， 就是一个 alternative。Moving
on to part B.
好，那我们看看 part B 哈，这个地方两个 B 题组的两个题目哈。第一个题目他说动画系列《鬼灭之刃》Demon Slayer， 好，他把英文给你了，在全球造成轰动，其电影版也成为日本史上最卖座的电影之一哈。那这个动画系列啊，英文固定的说法就是The Animated Series， 就是一个固定的说法哈，这种动画的系列哈 ，animated 在这里就是动画。好，所以我就直接说好 ，the animated series Demon Slayer was它是个怎么样呢？它说造成轰动，其实我可以说 was a worldwide sensation 啊。那你说 something is a sensation， 表示它非常的轰动啊。那我前面加一个 worldwide， 就形容这个轰动是全世界的。你当然你也可以说 was a sensation all over the world 也可以了。
It's wordier，
比较 wordier 啊，这个比较字多了一点哈，冗赘了一点，所以我前面就讲它是 was a worldwide sensation。接下来呢，他讲说这个电影它的电影版本哈，其电影版，那我可以说 and the movie version， 指它的电影版。那当然你也可以说 it's 啊，但是这里地方 the movie version 其实就很明确，就指它的电影版。
Yeah, it's is possible, but doesn't sound very good here, so definitely the.
好 ，OK。那所以呢，成为日本史上最卖座的电影之一。那这个其实就是翻译的时候，其实各位要慢慢去了解那感觉啊，就是英文跟中文常常是一块对一块啊。像中文讲说最卖座的电影，那英文其实有另外一个，就是意思几乎一样的一块字哈，就是一串字，就是 the highest grossing films ever 啊，加个 ever 就有史以来啊，所以 highest grossing 那。Grossing, G-R-O-S-S 这个字呢，它形容词是很恶心的意思哈，但是动词的话就是赚钱啊。
Yeah, and that's something that, for example, young people really like to say, especially girls. Oh, that's so gross.
好恶心哦，就是这个字。
When my daughter was younger, they would say 好恶。
对，好恶哈，所以那个是形容词的用法。那在这里呢是动词的用法哈，就是赚钱啊，而且是大赚的那种感觉。
Exactly, and that's why the English and Chinese are just a little different in what they are emphasizing. So the Chinese is 卖座, it makes you think it brought in lots of people, right?
Yeah.
Of course, they're selling the tickets, but you're thinking of 卖座, a lot of people are coming to buy the tickets.
Yeah.
But in English, grossing is how much money, 捞到多少钱的感觉。
Yeah, 这个有一点点稍微差别的就是，这个我们讲卖座好像是卖得很好那种感觉，但是你用 highest grossing 比较强调他赚了很多钱啊，
捞
了很多钱，卖座的结果捞了很多钱，所以有一点点不一样。但是这个英文的 highest grossing films 这个是常见的一个 collocation.
Yes, the two are quite equivalent.
这两个这蛮像的，中文跟英文说法很像，那从不同的角度看同样一件事情。好，所以我 后面就讲 The movie version has become one of the highest grossing films ever in Japan. Has become 就是这已经做到了，就是已经成为事实了。
Right. The whole thing one more time.
好，那我整句翻译我再念一次哈。The animated series Demon Slayer was a worldwide sensation, and the movie version has become one of the highest grossing films ever in Japan.
Right. And notice that emphasis on ever. That means from the beginning of time. Okay. And my translation is the animated series Demon Slayer took the world by storm, and the movie version has become one of the biggest box office hits in Japanese history.
好，那 Karen 老师的翻译呢，前面一样哈，这个系列呢，那 took the world by storm 哈，这个片语我也很喜欢啊，这个就是造成轰动的感觉，好像席卷那种感觉，就跟中文用席卷的感觉很像哈。好，然后呢，这个电影的版本呢也是一样，成为 one of the biggest box office hits. 好 box office 就是票房，好，那 hits 就是非常卖座的很热门的东西。好，所以英文你也可以讲说最卖座的电影，你也可以讲中文的这样子，英文也可以对到这一整块字啊，就是 the biggest box office hit。好，那如果是复数的话就是 hits。然后呢，后面在日本史上 in Japanese history.
Okay, one more time. The animated series Demon Slayer took the world by storm, and the movie version has become one of the biggest box office hits in Japanese history. Here's the translation in our magazine, and they have a bunch of options for us again. The first one is, the animated series Demon Slayer has caused a sensation all over the world, and the movie version has become one of Japan's biggest box office hits ever. Okay, like Wesley, they use ever, and I said in history. I think ever is probably better. Another possibility is the animated series Demon Slayer has taken the whole world by storm, and the movie version has become one of Japan's biggest blockbuster movies ever.
OK, 好，那这个 biggest 用来形容那个 blockbuster movies 也很好哈。那 blockbuster 通常就让万人空巷的那种感觉。
That's right.
Yeah.
And blockbuster is a good word for movies that make a lot of money and are extremely popular. However, it makes me think of the failed 那个租录影带的那个店。I think of them, and because they are already out of business and in the past, it makes this word sound a little bit out of date to me.
因为呢，以前呢，这个各位比较年轻的听众可能不知道，以前很这个一个很大的连锁的录影带出租的这个店哈，就叫做百视达，我记得中文叫百视达。
Exactly, it was very popular in Taiwan.
那个美国也是，台湾也是。那个时候就在网络还没有那么厉害的时候啊，那大家要看电影呢，就是可以去租录影带来看。那它是一个很大的连锁公司。那后来当然因为网络的兴起哈，那个它这公司后来就倒闭了。但是呢，这个对于知道这个公司的人来讲，你看到这个 blockbuster 你就想到这个字啊，然后想到这公司，然后你就想到这是已经倒掉的一个东西，感觉起来好像是一个比较 outdated 已经过时的感觉了。
Right, but it's still fine. We still use it. Just for me, it has that association.
但是这个字还是可以用，只是对很多人来讲可能会有这种联想，就是那是一个good old days 也许不是 good old days， 但至少是一个 in the past 的事情。
You know, the first thing I think of when I think of those 录影带, I think of it getting stuck in the machine.
Oh, yeah.
And you have to try to get it out. If you're lucky, you get it out and you can continue watching. If you're unlucky, either the tape is damaged or the machine breaks and you have to take it in to be repaired. And that happened to us many times.
Yeah, 以前这种看录影带的时候，问题就是常常它会卡住哈，那你要么就要机器送修，要么这录影带就毁了。Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So let's listen to it again. The animated series Demon Slayer has caused a sensation all over the world or taken the whole world by storm, and the movie version has become one of Japan's biggest box office hits ever, or has become one of Japan's biggest blockbuster movies ever.
好，那我们来看看这个第二题哈 ，B 题组的第二题，他说这股热潮促使许多店家推出了相关的周边商品，为他们带来庞大的利润。好，那热潮这有好几个字可以用啊，那我用的字呢是 fad F-A-D。好 fad 这个字呢，所谓的它就是指热潮，但是它通常我看到这个字就感觉起来这是一时的啊，这个 fad 通常就是一时的风潮，它是会过去的那种感觉啊，所以那我这里用 fad the fad， 然后呢促使
The first thing I think of is 葡式蛋挞。
Oh yeah,
that was a fad.
Yeah, 好，这当时非常非常的这个风行哈，但是后来一阵热潮过了就没有了。
Yeah, nothing.
好 ，OK， 好，所以呢，这个促使哈，这个 fad 这个热潮促使，这个促使这个字呢，好，我本来是用 prompted 啊， 但是呢，这个 prompted 后来 Karen 老师他说，这个字呢，感觉好像是这好像是你本来就该做的事情，你忘了做，所以好像被人家点了一下，说，你怎么还没做那种感觉、啊？所以呢，这里其实用 prompted 文法是当然是没有问题啊，但是这里其实更好的一个字呢是 inspired， 好 ，inspired somebody to do something。
And it's very 正面 when you say inspired。
很正面，而且 inspired 感觉起来是有了灵感。他本来这些店的这些 stores 本来这个生意不太好啊，或者本来不知道干嘛，突然之间想，这个这么流行，我可以赚点钱，
给他一个启发，
哈。所以呢，这个 the fad has inspired many stores 很多的商家，许多的店家哈。然后呢，干嘛呢？推出相关的周边产品啊，这个推出啊，这里有一个字非常的好，就是 roll out 啊，因为那个 roll 就是滚动嘛，所以你看到 roll out 这个字为什么好呢？因为你看到这个字，看到这片语之后，那个 image 都跑出来了，看起来感觉就是好像那个红地毯，你要把那个地毯这样卷铺出来哈，铺出了红地毯，因为呢，你看，我们有这么多好的东西要卖出来了，
就是展开来
了哈，所以通通推出来给你看，这跟中文的推出非常像。中文的推出也是有一个形象在那边啊，我推出了这个东西啊，它不是说我卖，而是说我推出了这个东西。所以呢，这个地方讲这个很多的店呢就 roll out， 那相关的这个一些周边商品，好，周边商品啊，在英文里面通常是用 merchandise 这个字来表达啊。那有的时候呢，你会看到 merch， 它简称merch。好，那这个地方呢，这个相关的周边商品，因为题目里面有一个相关的，所以我可以在这 merchandise 前面加一个 related， 就是相关的，所以他们 roll out related merchandise。好，然后呢，这个为他们带来庞大的利润，那是谁带来利润呢？是这些 merchandise。所以我这里可以把 merchandise 后面打个逗点，要用一个 which 啊，用个关系代名词把它连起来，就是指这些 merchandise 怎么样呢？带来了庞大的利润。好，我们可以英文 collocation 啊 ，brought in 或者 has brought in huge profits， 就是带来庞大的利益。好，那 which has brought in huge profits， 那其实这个我在写的时候，我就想，那为他们，我不要想说 for them， 但后来讲不用讲嘛，因为带进来庞大利益，当然就是商店的利益嘛，不可能是商品自己赚自己的钱嘛。好，所以这个地方英文到这里就可以了，不用再讲 for them， 好，或者还 brought in for the stores 都不用说。
Because that would just weaken the sentence.
因为你不需要讲的只会让你的句子更弱啊，所以到这里见好就收，好 ，which has brought in huge profits。所以我的翻译，我再整句念一次。The fad has inspired many stores to roll out related merchandise, which has brought in huge profits.
Right. And notice that we didn't use the present tense, which brings in huge profits. And that's because that's making a general statement. 这么做的话，一定会赚很大的利润，而是说目前为止已经替他们赚到很多钱。We don't know about the future because it's a fad, and this may not always be the same in the future.
那这里我们没有用现代式，没有说 which brings in 哈，因为那样感觉起来呢是一个事实，就是你只要这么做就可以赚很多的钱哈。但在这里其实不是，这里是说他已经赚了很多钱了。
That's right. And here's my translation. This craze has led many shops to offer spin-off products, which have brought in huge profits.
好 ，spin-off 是衍生的意思哈，所以 spin-off product 是衍生出来的一些产品哈。那所以这个地方可以用来表示周边产品，因为它是衍生出来的，从电影衍生出来的。那它后面我一样是用现在完成式 ，which have 为什么 have 呢？因为这个地方 which 指的是 product， 这是复数。
One more time. This craze has led many shops to offer spin-off products, which have brought in huge profits. Okay, note the use of the word craze. It means a kind of 疯狂，就是一个狂风 or something like that.
它跟 fad 其实蛮像的。
It's stronger though.
它比 craze 比 fad 还要更强。
而且稍微有点贬义。Here's the translation in our magazine. This fad has prompted lots of stores to roll out related merchandise, which has brought them huge profits. This is all great. We chose a word besides prompt, but prompt is okay here.
好，所以 prompt 也没有错哈，那也可以用。然后呢，这个 brought them， 它这个地方感觉比较没有那么啰嗦，因为它是 brought them huge profits。如果你说 brought huge profits to them， 那稍微就多了一个字了。那所以你这样写也是可以的 ，has brought them huge profits。That's
it for today. Please tune in next time. We'll be looking out for you. See you then. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.